Stephen Strasburg and the Nationals are in the Steel City to meet a Pirates team that's suddenly making noise in the NL Central.
20-year-old Bryce Harper, a young phenom in Major League Baseball. In only his second season, he's become a leader on the team. He meets the Pittsburgh Pirates and their outstanding lineup led by Andrew McCutchen as they come to Pittsburgh for our Fox Saturday Baseball. Off the Allegheny River, Washington and Pittsburgh in an important battle for two young teams trying to establish themselves for later on in the season. Hi, everybody. I'm Howard David, along with 7-year Major League veteran F.P. Santangelo. When you see Stephen Strasburg, you think of power first, but he's had problems getting out of the first inning.
Well, he's had problems with his right arm last time out. All the talk about the cramp and the tightness in his right forearm, but for Stephen Strasburg, he's a rhythm guy. It takes him a while to get into the game, but even if you have a tight forearm, when you look at the success he's had against the Pirates, his first game as a major leaguer, 14 Ks. His second game last year, May 10th, against the Pirates, 13 Ks. So 2 games, 13 innings, 27 strikeouts versus just 3 walks. He's ready to go.
And he's going to face, among others, Andrew McCutchen, who's having his way with the Washington Nationals. 23 ball games, 450, 11 home runs, 23 RBIs, a potential superstar in this league.
And we caught up with Andrew today in the tunnel, and we asked him, you see that Nationals jersey, your eyes light up, don't you? And he said he's just caught him at the right time the last couple of years. He's got some ownage on this team, one of the best 5-tool players in all of baseball. Looking forward to watching him play today.
Andrew McCutchen's a superstar in the making. Stephen Strasburg has gotten a lot of headlines. Jet Lock hasn't given up a run in the last 2 starts. He'll take the mound when we return. It's the Nationals and the Pirates next. You see the temperature at 71 degrees. A gorgeous day in this magnificent town, and sunny in the forecast. Can't get better than that, and a wonderful, wonderful day for baseball. Here's the starting lineup for the Washington Nationals. You'll see a couple of changes. Jason Worth is out with a hamstring injury, and Denard Span will not start today in center field. He also fouled off a pitch on top of his foot in last night's game, so he's being kept out of this one. And here's Jeff Locke.
A sixth start of the year for Locke. Last time out on the 28th at St. Louis. Got the 7-0 win. Gave up no runs on 3 hits over 7 strong innings. Struck out 4, walked 2 through 95 pitches, 59 of those for strikes. So 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, averaging 90 miles an hour. Curveball change to go with it.
As for the defense for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Starling Marte in left field. Can he flash some hot glove? Snyder's in right today. Mercer and Barmes, the double play combination. And Russell Martin, who might be the vocal leader of that clubhouse for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds.
Let's play ball.
Clint Hurdle, very profound manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, was dropping some words of wisdom on us before today. He said, I'm not as profound around my kids.
Well, that's good because he was using some big words that I didn't understand.
Now, he lost me. There's no doubt about it. Jeff Locke, 25 years old. He'll face Danny Espinoza at the top of the order from Santa Ana, California. A switch hitter, hitting right-handed. Takes a pitch in there for a strike to start the game. Actually has more power left-handed. Played his college ball at Long Beach State, where he started at shortstop. Pitch misses on the outside. It's even at a ball and a strike. The Nationals even at 15-15. The defending National League East champion. And the expectations, according to Davey Johnson, are as high, and he welcomes it.
Well, he's talking about it today. Had a team meeting before the game today, saying he wants his guys to go out there, relax, have fun, enjoy playing the game of baseball, keep it simple. And ironically enough, he had a team meeting on the 31st game of the year last year in Pittsburgh with Steven Strasburg on the mound.
The 2-1 hit on the ground, wide of first. Sanchez to Locke, and they get the game's first out. Davey Johnson, by the way, managing his last year with the Washington Nationals. He has already announced he's leaving the Nationals after the season is over.
Well, we sat in the office and asked him, I'm sure you already know this, Davey, but last year on the 31st game of the year against the Pirates, before Steven Strasburg took the mound, you had a team meeting. He said, I did not know. You talk about symmetry in baseball. The Nationals went on to win 5 of 7 games after that meeting in 2012.
Here's a hitter that's as hot as anybody, and that is Ian Desmond, who's on a 10-game hitting streak. Locke misses on the outside.
Jeff Locke not afraid to throw his fastball. A 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball. He'll start it away early in the count, go in off the plate with a 4-seamer late in the count. But if you look at his delivery, a lot like Ted Lilly, he turns his back to the hitter. That little pause in his motion maybe lulls you to sleep and comes at you with that hard 89 miles an hour. Plays a little bit faster than that.
Locke is 3-1. His first 2 years in the big leagues, he was 1-6. Swinging strike. We'll talk to A.J. Burnett about the third inning. A.J. threw a beauty last night for 7 innings.
You see the delivery, the pause, and then right over the top. Sneaky fast, good sink on that 2-0 fastball to Ian Desmond.
Swings and misses to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last Wednesday in the game in Atlanta, Desmond had 2 home runs and a 2-0 win.
Been swinging the bat well. He's primarily worked away early in the season. He's made the adjustments and gone to right field consistently of late.
Count goes full to 3-2. Desmond, 28 years of age. Jeff Locke talking to Clint Hurdle. He has learned how to pitch. Right down the pipe. He struck him out looking. Desmond a little unhappy, but the pitch was there.
They're watching Jeff Locke on videotape. This is what he does. He'll lull you to sleep with a 2-seam fastball away, lock you up with a 4-seam fastball in the inner half late. And after seeing that whole sequence on the outer third. Ian Desmond surprised at the fastball in by Locke. Good pitch.
Well, we're going to get a look at you talked about a young phenom. He's 20 years of age, and you look at those numbers, but they have fallen off. Hit on the ground on first pitch, swing to Sanchez, and he throws to Locke. Second time this inning, and the first inning goes quickly for Jeff Locke. For the Pirates, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Look to the number 3 hitter in the order, Andrew McCutchen, and he has had his way with the Nationals over the last 23 ball games. His entire appearances against Washington, and he has been magnificent, hitting over 450. Stephen Strasburg, his last start on Monday, he did not pitch badly. He just started out a little slowly in the first inning, unable to get either his fastball or his breaking ball over the plate, but you watch him frequently.
Yeah, it took the 3-2 loss at Atlanta, allowed 2 runs on 6 hits over 6 innings.
Pitches in at the corner to Starling Marte. Marte, interesting, we were talking to Clint Hurdle before the game. I said, why is he your leadoff hitter? He never takes a walk. Pitches in for a strike.
Yeah, 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball curve change from Strasburg. That's what the Pirates are going to see. Fastball this year averaging 95.5 miles an hour.
And it hit him. About the last thing any pitcher wants to do is hit a batter with an 0-2 count.
Well, the first inning's been rough for Stephen Strasburg the last couple of starts. All the talk last time about the forearm tightness. He said after the game he was fine. The arm is structurally sound. His side work between starts went perfect, and there's no worries about the health of Stephen Strasburg in the Nationals camp. Maybe just how the first inning has been going for him this year, right to the stretch.
Pitches into Travis Snyder. And you know he wasn't thrilled.
I know. And he'll shake his right arm all the time to get sweat off his hand. It was just a little more pronounced last time out against the Braves in Atlanta.
Snyder looks at a strike. He's 25 years old, from Kirkland, Washington. Been with the Toronto Blue Jays, now here with the Pirates, and as you see what the numbers are, he gets the start today in right field. Marte going, steals the base, takes off, heads for third, and he'll go to third standing up. So Marte creating some havoc for Pittsburgh here in the first inning.
Yeah, a couple of hits last night for Starling Marte, and a couple of stolen bases as well. You look at him, how good a jump he got, and based on last night, what I've seen here today, 0 to 60 as fast as any guy I've seen in the league. Great jump. The throw gets away from Wilson Ramos and Desmond. Marte advances to third on the air. Bucks in business here in the first.
Marte, as I mentioned, not your typical leadoff hitter. Doesn't take a lot of walks. Very aggressive at the plate. And Strasburg had a little bit of difficulty here in the first.
This year for Stephen Strasburg, 20.7 pitches per first inning is what he's averaging. That's the most of any inning.
So with McCutchen at the plate and swinging at a 1-2. McCutchen surprised me when we met him earlier today. I thought he was a bigger guy. He gives that big physical impression because he's so well cut up. But he's about 5'11".
Little man carrying a big stick.
Oh, does he ever. Pitch misses in at the knees. McCutchen, I mentioned, against Washington in 24 games, hitting .452. And after a slow start this year, his bat is heating up. 2-1 on McCutchen. In at the knees.
A well-located fastball right there. 96 miles an hour on the black. Davey Johnson with the infield back, obviously, here in the first inning with one out, conceding the run. McCutchen just trying to put the ball in play here with a 2-strike count.
Swings at a pitch out of the strike zone, and McCutchen goes down swinging. John Hirschbeck is the crew chief, and the rest of the crew, Davidson, Reynolds, and Hove. Hirschbeck worked first base last night in the Pirates win 3-1. Hoy, I said Hove. It is Hoy. And that'll bring Garrett Jones to the plate. Got in a pinch hitting role last night and gets the start today at first base. Active fastball by Strasburg.
Playing some good old-fashioned country hardball right now. Rearing back and throw it at 96 and then a 97 right there to Garrett Jones.
Garrett Jones with a very sweet swing. Takes a pitch down low. Garrett from Harvey, Illinois, who actually began in the Twins organization. Comes off his best year of 2012, where he hit .274 with 27 home runs and 86 RBIs.
Hey, got Jones.
Strasburg ahead of the count, 1-2. Hit high in the air. And handled by the second baseman, Espinosa. That'll take care of the bottom of the first here in Pittsburgh. Budweiser by the 2013 Ford F-150 with Echo Boost, and by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Ryan Zimmerman will step in for Washington. Came off the DL yesterday and got a couple of base hits. Pitch misses on the outside. The Washington Nationals, we know they were relocated from Montreal for the 2005 season, but DC was without baseball since 1971. Zimmerman fouls it away. Interesting to note that last season in Washington in '71, the last game was a forfeit. The Yankees and then the Washington Senators, the fans stormed the field in the 9th inning, and the umpires called the game when they couldn't clear the field. Hit in the air and deep, straight away center, and McCutchen pushes away. Now it's time for the Lowe's Never Stop Improving the Game break. Here's Matt.
Howard, Adam Wainwright has pushed the Brewers around regularly in the NL Central. Enough is enough, says Gene Segura. First home run allowed by Wainwright all year has the Brewers off to an early 2-0 lead against the Cardinals. Howard, back to UNFP.
Thanks, Matt. St. Louis a game in front of Pittsburgh in the NL Central as Adam LaRoche stands in for Washington. After a very sluggish start, LaRoche, his bats come alive. He led the Nationals with 35 home runs last year.
And a double top secret hitting coach in Atlanta, Chipper Jones, took him aside. They watched film together, worked together in the cage. A guy that he played with at a very young age. Chipper Jones, first year retired, enjoying his retirement, came to the ballpark at Turner Field and locked Adam LaRoche in.
2-0, misses away. One final postscript about the old Washington Senators in 1969. Would you remember who the manager was for Washington?
I was 3 years old, probably not.
How does Ted Williams sound? You ever hear of him?
I have. There's Harper and Zimmerman watching.
Pitches in for a strike. Well, Ted Williams, by many people's accounts, might have been the best pure hitter in baseball at that time. I won't say now, at that time.
Well, you can't argue with that at all.
His misses inside, and then LaRoche draws a pass.
It's time for our Ford keys to the game. And before the game, we were talking about Stephen Strasburg getting out of the first inning, getting off to a good start. 15 pitches, 11 strikes, pounded the strike zone with his fastball. How about Starling Marte, one of the rising stars in baseball, I feel like. Andrew McCutchen getting all the press here, but this guy's coming into his zone, ranked second among NL leadoff hitters with 57 total bases, 2 hits, 2 stolen bases last night, and a stolen base here early.
Tyler Moore stands in for Washington. This is on the outside. Moore's 26 years old. He was born in Brandon, Missouri. That's got an interesting background to it. The city, Brandon, Missouri, supposedly, according to the people in the music industry, has the best recording facilities for music stars in Brandon, Missouri.
I was just going to say that. You stole my answer.
Swung on and fouled away.
Oh, he's a guy that the Nationals believe has a bright future, just like Jeff Locke on the mound for the Pirates. You've seen some good young players in this baseball game. We talked to Clint Hurdle about Locke today, and he's a guy that's kind of come under the tutelage of A.J. Burnett, and his career's taken off this year. He's throwing more to his strengths versus hitters' weaknesses, and I feel like that's a good philosophy. Sometimes you pitch to the scouting report and it's to your weakness, but he's become very comfortable this year with the fastball curve change combination, pounding the strike zone with the fastball and pitching to his strengths.
Moore looking for the 2-1 serve by Locke. Fouled off at the plate. I said it was Brandon, Missouri. I stand corrected. It's Branson, Missouri, which is the home to many of your favorite movies. I know you were very big in the music industry. I know you're a rap guy, probably.
I like it all, Howard.
But Tony Orlando, I know you were very big with. He lives in Branson, Missouri. 2-2, pounded back.
Another example of Jeff Locke not afraid to go inside with 2 strikes. Away early, in late, mix in a curve and a change. 14 scoreless innings working for Jeff Locke.
So the count goes full to 3-2. LaRoche, not a guy you expect to steal a lot of bases, but we'll see if they have the hit and run on here. Not a big lead. And the pitch misses high and away, and there's runners at first and second. Washington, the defending NL East champion, within 3 of Atlanta, and Atlanta is faltering. They got out to that great start. They had won 10 in a row, but the bats have gone silent. They strike out more than any team in the league, and they also have more home runs than any team in the league.
How about the Pirates? 17-12, off to another fast start. When you talk to the Pittsburgh people, they're talking about they feel like they're a little bit deeper in past years, and they're not worried about a second half slide.
So Locke having a little problem now trying to find the plate. Wilson Ramos getting the start today behind the plate for Washington. Runners lead away. Foul back by Ramos, who was actually born in Venezuela, was on the DL with a hamstring. Last year, you may recall, had an ACL and a meniscus problem last May, but now he is healthy. We're hearing a lot of stories about players with hamstring pulls. Why?
That's going around right now, especially in the Nationals camp. You can't really put a finger on why guys are pulling their hamstrings, but Wilson Ramos, Ryan Zimmerman, Jason Worth, all with bad hammies.
Hit hard to short. Could be 2. There's 1. There's 2. Hard hit ball, and Locke is out of the inning with no damage. Defense for the Nationals brought to you by Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. One noticeable change, Span sitting out today with a hamstring, so Bernardina gets the start in center field. Moore over in right. Steven Strasburg, who struck out a couple of Pirates in the first inning. Got an inauspicious beginning when he hit Marte on an 0-2 pitch. And Russell Martin now for the Pirates. Joke going around Pittsburgh, you might recall, back in 1960, beat the Yankees in the World Series. That's the last time the Pirates beat the Yankees at anything until they signed Russell Martin.
Well, he's been a leader for this ball club when you talk about how he's worked with the pitching staff, some of the younger guys, and what he's meant to this club early in the season. A guy who started slow offensively and has absolutely locked it in. He made one small adjustment at the plate with his back foot. He took his back foot and kind of pointed it back toward the catcher. He was watching Miguel Cabrera hit, of all people, in spring training with the Tigers.
Like a half-check swing that's going to be close at first. He slides head first and gets nailed anyway. Nice play by Espinosa to get it over there in a hurry.
A good hustle by Russell Martin, get down the first baseline. You know he's going to play hard every single day, but great play right here by Danny Espinosa. Excuse me, swing. Almost a swing and bunt. He smelled the knock all the way. Espinosa has to glove flip it to Al LaRoche at first base, and it is bang, bang. And when you talk to first base umpires, they like to hear the sound of the cleat hitting the bag versus the ball in the glove. And anytime you slide head first, they lose that advantage. Yeah. And that's why more times than not, when guys slide, they're called out.
Alvarez swinging at the first pitch, sends it skyward up the elevator shaft. And Espinosa gloves it. Today's game is presented by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times awaiting. Grab some buds. By the way, we just got the word from the French judge. Russell Martin got an 8 for the dive.
Well, I mean, it's a good play. It's a hustle play. You're trying to buy a call, maybe trick an umpire. But if you talk to umps, it's hard for them to tell when a guy slides head first into first.
Jordy Mercer stands in for Pittsburgh. He gets activated 2 hours before the game yesterday and then said thank you very much, hit a 2-run home run.
They had a long travel day, came from Indianapolis yesterday, inserted right in the lineup and basically won the game for his ball club out of AAA. A guy that doesn't hit a lot of home runs. Hit the big homer last night for the Bucks.
He was activated. Neil Walker was put on the disabled list for Pittsburgh. Fouled off. Count goes 1-2. This is last night.
And this is a guy for the Pirates that had 1 home run and 62 official at-bats last season. And had only 1 home run, 109 plate appearances for Indianapolis this year. But he got into an offensive count, said he was going to let it fly. He did. And had the big knock for the Bucks.
Hit out to third. Across the diamond, and that's it. Coming up in the next inning, we'll be speaking with A.J. Burnett of Pittsburgh. Raja Bernardina, the number 8 hitter in the lineup for Washington, stands in against Jeff Locke. Last night, outstanding pitching performance by A.J. Burnett of the Pirates, who will be speaking with us momentarily from the Pirate dugout. Locke ready to deal. It's in for a strike. A.J., great job last night. On fire right away. Struck out 3 of the first 4 you faced. All looking.
Can you guys see me right now?
I hear you loud and clear. We are on the air.
On the air, yeah.
On the air. And if you Bernardina gets hit, I think, would hit the bat. No, he got hit. A.J., I mentioned about the fact that you got 3 of the first 4 looking last night. It looked like he came out of the gate on fire. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, I did. I felt good with number 1 last night. I think a lot of strikeouts early and a lot of heaters early. I get in the pattern a lot. Guys. I'm sure when they face me, when I get ahead, they're looking for the curveball, and we mixed it up yesterday. We threw some changeups actually too, to some righties that were very effective, but just stayed with the fastball a lot early on. Ahead in the count.
Yeah, a lot of strikeouts looking last night, and I feel like maybe everybody knew you were going to throw the fastball, but you moved it around so nice, in, out, up, down. You worked the zone completely, and to me up here, AJ, and I know you used to throw a lot harder, but 92, 93 right now to me is playing 95, 96. Why is that?
Movement, conviction. I was, like you said, I was a 4-seam guy in the past. I just reared back and threw it as hard as I could. And, after a while, you get a little bit older, you get a little bit wiser, and you realize that's not going to cut it, And I wish I would have known what I knew now, or what I know now. I wish I would have known a long time ago. I might have, I might have had a little better career maybe than so far, but you're never too old to learn new things, and being able to sink the ball at both sides of the plate, and then use your 4-seamer up in the zone. It's just more weapons, more weapons to choose from, opposed to just hey, it's AJ, 4-seam curveball guy.
When you first came up with the Marlins, you had Beckett and yourself. That franchise looked like a team that was really on the rise early.
We had some arms, huh? We had. That's so cool.
Well, a wild throw, and that enables everybody to be safe. Barmes' throw way off the mark on a slowly hit ball, and so the Nationals now with runners at first and third, errors on the throw, obviously.
Yeah, maybe AJ could talk about this too a little bit. Steven Strasburg, the reigning silver slugger, who Davey Johnson trusts to go a little butcher boy right here. Pulls the bunt back, slashes it on the ground. Basically gets the job done as soon as the ball's on the ground, but Barmes having to go in the hole with a long throw. Can't get a hustling Steven Strasburg down the line.
And I tell you, that's what they teach you to do. You see them corners crash, make them field it. You gotta hit a missile. You just gotta tap it. He tapped it in the right spot, and he's young enough to run to first. I probably would have been jogging.
All right, you've been in both leagues. Been in the National League, been in the American League. You prefer to hit or not?
I do. I missed it. I'm a little off. I never was a great hitter, but I got a couple tanks in the show, and man, it's so different now. I guess being in the American League, that ball gets on you quick right now. But I enjoy it. It makes the game funner. It makes you feel like you're a kid out there when we get to hit. We're not just out there pitching. You actually get to play the game more.
AJ, talking to a lot of your teammates the last couple of days, everybody pointing to you as a leader of this ball club. And, in my experiences, I can't remember very many times when I had a pitcher that went out there every 5 days that was the leader of the club. That speaks highly of you at this point in your career and what you've done with this ball club and this organization.
Man, you know what? These guys in this clubhouse, in this locker room, brought that out of me. I accepted. That's a good pitch. I accepted the new colors, the new team, the new city, and ran with it. I wasn't upset about it. I wanted to embrace it with open arms, and these guys embraced me before I even threw a pitch. So they gave me that title before I even knew what I was doing. And I don't know. I'm not a leader. I'm not a. Well, I guess I am, but I just try to set the right example. Just compete, do the right things, act like you've done it before, and just carry yourself right. That's more than anything. It took me a long time to figure out how to carry myself. It took me a long time to figure out my purpose in this game, but I wouldn't trade it for anything right now.
And giving back to the game, and you've been a big influence with Jeff Locke.
Yeah, him, J-Mac, all these guys, they're always talking to me, and It's very interesting to me. I mean, I ain't no Cy Young dude. I ain't never won no All-Star. I never been to All-Star game. You know, I've had a few decent, okay years, but I guess, you know, when you pitch that much and been through the battles that I've been through, these guys respect that, and you know, that just shows me how much these guys want to learn, how much they want to get better, and you know, they pick up little things, but you know, most of the time when I talk to them, they say they learn more from me by watching me and watch what I do, and that speaks more volume to me than anything else.
Career ERA of 4.03. Right now you're standing at 2.57 this year. Pretty nice.
That's not bad, you know. I don't really, you know, the past couple of years I'm really worried about my numbers, and I think that's a lot to do with it. You know, we got another game every day. You know, I learned that from my locker mate in New York, Jeet. You know, he told us every day, hey, we got another game tomorrow, no matter if we win or lose, and that's the truth, man. I mean, I'm not here for my numbers. I'm not here to see what A.J. Burnett can do. I'm here to take the ball every 5 days, try to get as many W's for this team as I can, and try to make some waves in this division. You know, try to get these young kids to.
This hit straight away. McCutcheon on his horse to the wall and makes the grab. A.J., thanks a million as the runner tags up from third.
Man, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
A.J. Burnett as the Nationals get on the board. With the first run here in the third inning, Bernardina scores on the long sacrifice fly by Desmond.
Nice piece of situational hitting right there by Ian Desmond. I'm sure A.J. Burnett will tell you the way Stephen Strasburg has looked early in this ball game, pounding the strike zone with 96-97. That run looks bigger than big right now for the Nationals. 12-1 this year when they score first.
Bryce Harper. Grounded out. First to the pitcher. Swings on the first pitch. Broken bat to second in time. And Harper on one pitch closes off the top of the third inning. We'll talk to Jordan Zimmerman coming up at the bottom. So the Nationals pick up an unearned run and lead it 1-0. As Clint Barma steps in for the Pittsburgh Pirates. See what he has done so far this year. Had a total of 5 base runners so far in this game by both teams, but yet no hits. Strasburg ready to go. Swing on the first pitch down the right field line, hustling over and near the seats, and it goes out of play. Tyler Moore on the chase, as we welcome in Jordan Zimmerman of the Washington Nationals, 26-year-old pitcher with a record of 4-1 from Auburndale, Wisconsin. I stand corrected. He is 5-1. Auburndale, Wisconsin, in case you didn't know, is a population of 700. Give you more definitive geographical numbers. He's halfway between Green Bay and Minneapolis. Jordan, welcome to our broadcast. Great job the other night against Atlanta. 8 innings, 2 hits, no runs, struck out 8, did not walk anybody.
Thanks, guys.
Well, the pressure's on you right now because we just had A.J. Burnett last inning, and he was fantastic. So never follow a better act, but you so far this season have been the act for the Nationals. The 18-inning scoreless streak, all the success you've had coming off a couple of gems. The complete game 1 hitter against the Reds, the 8-inning with no runs and 2 hits last time out against the Braves. What's been the reason for the success early on this year?
You know, I'm just getting ahead of guys and throwing strikes and you know, doing everything I can to pitch deep in the ball games, and these guys are having some fun right now. You know, just throwing first pitch strike and getting ahead of guys, and you know, letting the hitter put the ball in play.
Jordan, the expectations of your team very high this year after winning the NL East. Are you guys up to the challenge?
Yeah, you know, we're not playing as good as we like to right now, but you know, I feel like the hitting's starting to come around, and the pitching's been good all year, and you know, we keep playing the way we are and keep battling and grinding every day. We're gonna come out just fine.
Yeah, what are you seeing from Steven Strasburg early in this game?
He's attacking, he's throwing strikes, and he's getting the curveball over. And
you know, the sacrifice works.
You know, he's getting the curveball over. That's a big thing for him, is you know, attacking the hitters and you know, being able to flip that curveball in for a strike.
I felt like you did a good job of that last time out against the Braves, and you know, that's a team that's fastball hunters. You threw the curveball early in the count, you mixed in a few changeups, and you know, I think that's been the biggest difference for you this year, is establishing that fastball, but also keeping people off the first pitch heater.
Before you respond to that, are you aware of the fact the first set of Nationals bats were printed with only 1 N in Zimmerman?
Yeah, there's been plenty of mistakes like that over the years, and you know, I just learned to grow with it.
Hit in the air, through the gap, and out of here. Starling Marte goes yard.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk today coming into this game about Steven Strasburg versus Andrew McCutchen, but one of our 4 keys to the game today was keeping that guy off the base. Starling Marte, a guy that's learned the strike zone this year as opposed to years past where he's chased out of zone. Right there showing you some tremendous pop by going the other way for a 2-run homer to get the Bucks on the board.
Well, speaking with Jordan Zimmerman, who pitched particularly well in his last out, the staff is pretty solid, Jordan, would you say?
Yeah, you know, we're still pretty young. We're still learning, and you know, we got a veteran guy in Dan Herron, and you know, learn as much as we can from that guy, and you know, we're still young, and like I said, learning, and you know, trying to have fun with it.
I'm impressed with the fact that the league is hitting 168 against you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. You know, I'm just having a good start to the season, and hopefully it continues.
I think you're also having a big influence on the rest of your staff, and talk about how you are on the attack all the time. I'm seeing maybe some other guys watching you pitch and doing the same thing.
Yeah, you know, Cat always says don't walk anyone, so you know, that's one of the big things that I like to try to avoid if all impossible, and you know, just attack, and you know, you're going to give up your hits, but you know, just keep throwing strikes, and most of the time there's good results.
Hey Jordan, why are you so effective on the road?
That's a great question. I have no clue. I mean, I like pitching at home, and you know, I guess just my numbers are a little bit better on the road. I don't know.
Pounded to first. LaRoche to Strasburg, and he puts him away. Time now for Own Your Space Pitcher Profile, brought to you by Avis. Zimmerman's lowest road ERA in the major since the beginning of last season. Wow, I'm impressed.
I didn't even know that.
See what you learn when you come on television?
Well, you're supposed to say something like, I like the gray unis better than the white unis because you can't put a figure on it, but I feel like Jordan Zimmerman last year emerged, but this year has become one of the elite pitchers in the National League with the start he's had. And best of luck and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate it. Andrew McCutchen struck out swinging his first time up in the first inning. When you look at a guy like McCutchen and you see, and the great players have this, FP, they have this grace about him. And the way that he goes after fly balls and the way that he deals with everything. He's just, we spoke to him earlier today in the tunnel and saying he struggled early on in the year. Did you look at videotape? He goes, no, I'm not a tape guy.
I know we asked him if his eyes light up when he sees the Nationals uniform because of all the success against them. 24 career games, a .456 average against his 16-game hitting streak. And he said, it's just been a coincidence kind of thing to where as my swing has gotten locked in, we've just happened to be playing the Nationals. I don't know if I'm buying that or not because as a player, sometimes there's a team that you own and you know that they know kind of thing. And he's had nothing but success against a pretty good Washington Nationals staff, to say the least.
2-2, 2 out, hit on the ground to short. Desmond in time. And that wraps it up. But the Pirates get on the board thanks to Starling Marte's 2-run shot. Firestone, reminding you that whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. And by the makers of One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball. Ryan Zimmerman looking for the Nationals' first hit as we start the top of the fourth inning, and the Pirates on top 2-1. Zimmerman came off the DL after suffering a left hamstring strain, and it seems like we've mentioned that. Is the cold weather early in the season the culprit?
Well, maybe, and sometimes you just can't explain those things. They just happen.
Well, there is the first hit for the Nationals. Zimmerman down the line. It gets away from Marte. Zimmerman still on his horse, on his way to third. The throw coming is not in time, and the poorly played bounce or the ricochet by Marte enables Zimmerman to leg out a triple.
You see Starling Marte looking at that corner like what just happened right there. A lot of times you'll see that happen for the road player here, but not the home player. Now, this is a ballpark, obviously, he plays 81 games and got a little too close right there. And was his glove off as that ball went next to him? And the ball kicked all the way back to left center. He hustled for it, but Ryan Zimmerman, who's sneaky fast, leads off the fourth with a triple. I see that again. I thought his glove was on the wrong hand as the ball was rolling by him.
It's the second triple of the year for Zimmerman. Adam LaRoche stands at the plate trying to bring home the run. Adam LaRoche, oh, we'll take a look at it. What do you see?
I see the glove on his throwing hand and not his fielding hand, and I have no idea why.
Great call by you.
Unbelievable. I thought for a second maybe he's left-handed, but he's not.
He could
Never seen that before in my life.
Could be ambidextrous at the wrong time. So Jeff Locke, who had not given up a hit through the first 3 innings, gives up a leadoff triple to Ryan Zimmerman. And LaRoche looking to bring home the run to tie the game. Misses inside.
By the way, first hit of the day for the Nationals.
Adam LaRoche, a career .268 hitter, but last year he had .271 with 33 home runs, 100 RBIs, and 35 doubles. Had a very productive year. Swings and misses at that offering. LaRoche has been around. Mostly with the Braves, played some with Arizona. Two misses inside. The count goes full.
You just tell he's seeing the ball so much better than about a week ago. Early in the season, he probably felt like it was 0-2, 1-2 every single at bat. He's been getting into hitters' counts, slowing things down, seeing the ball better.
Payoff pitch. And hit deep to right. This will bring home the run. And it is handled by Travis Snyder, and Zimmerman strolls in.
Nice piece of hitting right there by Adam LaRoche. Tie the game at 2, but we have to go back to that Starling Marte play. Here's the swing by Ryan Zimmerman. Welcome back, Ryan Zimmerman, from the disabled list. Struck out 4 times last night. Hit the ball hard twice here today. And look at him transfer the glove to his right hand, which is actually his throwing hand, as the ball eludes him to the fence side. I've never seen that before in my life. He tried to put the glove on his other hand to field that ball.
Well, it's his right hand was bare when the ball got by him on the right, so maybe he thought he could trap it with the glove. It's the only thing I could think of.
Whatever the case, pretty cool to watch, because I've never seen that before. I can't think that quick, could you?
Yeah. Zimmerman, after the leadoff triple, is brought home by LaRoche. And we have a 2-2 ball game. Tyler Moore walked his first trip. Celebrate the craft of baseball for your chance to win a Chevrolet Impala and a trip to the Major League Baseball All-Star Game with ChevyBaseball.com. Howard David, FP Santangelo here in Pittsburgh. Hit on the ground to short. Barmes, awkward throw, makes the play. Again, obviously during the All-Star game, I mean, Chevrolet wants you to visit ChevyBaseball.com and your chance to win. I want to see you stuff those ballot boxes there, FP. You need a new car.
Oh, I'll take it. If it's free, it's me, and I want 3.
Wilson Ramos with 2 out and a 2-2 game. Ramos hit into a double play to bring an end to the second inning. Magnificent new ballpark here in Pittsburgh. Ramos goes after it and falls even now at 1-1. The great city of Pittsburgh. I'll tell you right now, the way the Pirates are going, and you look at the Steelers where they are right now, and the Penguins losing last night in hockey. And how did the Penguins lose to the Islanders? Penguins have been a good team all year.
I have no idea, Howard.
Not a hockey guy, huh? That's all right.
Not this time of year. I'm watching a few baseball games here and there.
Yeah, no, I understand. So Locke ahead of the count. And hit in the air to right. Snyder gloves it. When we come back, Alvarez standing in.
Watch this baby get out of here. Pedro Alvarez. The big bull. My goodness, did he crush it.
Steven Strasburg at the beginning gets the strike on the outside corner to Garrett Jones. Steven Strasburg has only given up 2 hits, but one was a big fly to Starling Marte. Garrett Jones at the plate, fouls one off.
Hey, and you know what? Davey Johnson has no problem with Steven Strasburg giving up home runs, pounding the strike zone, going after guys in attack mode here today. And if you're a power guy, you're going to run into a few barrels every now and then and give up some home runs. But I think the most important thing for the Nationals and Davey Johnson is he's throwing strikes.
Garrett Jones down the line with the extra bases. Good carry for the throw, and he is held at first.
Well, Tyler Moore with a nice play, keeping the glove on his right hand right there. But we're going to go back to Starling Marte. The last inning, telling his teammates what happened. Get a little traveling call right there as you're coming down the steps. And then in your own ballpark, folks, you're used to every nook and cranny, and you play every ball down the corner. You're used to the hops. And if you look right here, he gets that in-between hop. The ball ricochets in a manner that he's not used to, so he tries a little 9-1-1 action there and puts the glove on his other hand, talking to his teammates, and he's telling them, hey, that ball took a weird hop, and I switched my glove to my throwing hand to try to make a play right there. That's good stuff, guys. Great shots.
You know what he's telling his teammates? No, I'm telling you, here's the way it happened. And they're all going, yeah,
They're like, we were watching the clubhouse, and we just saw that. Did you really put your glove on your other hand?
Russell Martin the next hitter, and I don't know what this discussion is about with John Hirschbeck.
Well, whatever it is, Clint Hurdle's trying to keep his catcher in the ball game right now, and it has to be something about what transpired maybe last inning while Russell Martin was in the squat back there. We'll see.
Well, here's where we need managers and players wired.
It doesn't look contentious. Russell Martin has a smile on his face, and whatever it was, they hashed it out. Interesting. Interesting stuff going on everywhere right now. Wow.
Since, if you remember, Strasburg had to run the bases before, Pittsburgh hitters are 3 for 5 often. You don't think that could tire him out, do you?
I don't think so. He's a horse.
Jones leads off. Pitch misses on the outside. When Strasburg pitched the other day against Atlanta, he had some irritation in his right forearm related to overuse of a muscle stimulation machine. Now maybe you can shed some more light on that, because there was concern in Washington.
Well, a muscle stim machine, you kind of put an electric pulse between the area that's sore, and it actually loosens it up, and every once in a while you get a cramp from it. That cramp carried over to his last start in Atlanta, and you know, all heck broke loose on the internet about Stephen Strasburg with a tight forearm. And I think in Stephen's defense, anytime you have a surgery.
Martin, glove, nice play at third. The second for one, on to first for a double play. Terrific play in the infield by Ryan Zimmerman, who's flashed the good glove and hit a home run, and hit a triple. So he has worked out so far.
And just what the doctor ordered right there. Little 5-4-3 double play. Zimmerman ranging far to his left. Perfect feed right on the money to Danny Espinosa. He shows off that strong arm to complete the 5-4-3 double play. The point I was trying to make about Strasburg is anybody that's ever had a surgery anywhere, even if you're 100% healthy, when you feel pain in the general vicinity, you have a tendency to go, uh-oh. And maybe that's what happened more last start in Atlanta than anything. And I've had 3 knee surgeries, and every time I get a little pain in there, I think, uh-oh, I blew it out again. And maybe the first time you experience some soreness close, it scares you.
Well, a lot of concern was because he did have the Tommy John surgery, and that was quickly dismissed as the cause. Strasburg came up with enormous expectations as Pedro Alvarez stands in for the Pirates with 2 out. And he is doused by Strasburg. 2-2 your score, and Strasburg is leading it off next. There's been as many runs as hits in this game. The Pirates have 3, the Nationals 1, but the Nationals run, or hit rather, was Zimmerman's triple. This is hit, cut off by Mercer, and makes the play. Roger Bernardino out on 1 pitch.
A nice play right here by Jordy Mercer. Playing in a little bit because of the fact Roger Bernardino will bring a bunt with him to second base, but shows tremendous range on the hard hit ball, the jump throw to first base. Right on time. Nice play.
A good play by Mercer, the first out. Steven Strasburg slowly hit ball to second. An easier chance for Mercer, and he puts him away. Jeff Locke, and the upper northeast might be better known as the Redstone Rocket from Redstone, New Hampshire. I think Carlton Fisk was from New Hampshire too, no?
Sam Fold is, and if he's from New Hampshire, that part, Jeff Locke might die for something here, because Sam Fold, famous for making great plays in the outfield, laying out.
2 pitches, 2 outs. Danny Espinosa, who was 0 for 2, struck out his last time and looks at one right down the pipe. Locke trying to subscribe to brevity of pitches will make me pitch longer into the game. This one a rocket to center field. McCutchen on his horse, off the wall, and Espinosa will stroll into second. That one was hit hard.
You got to hit it hard to get over Andrew McCutchen's head. Low line drive right here off the bat of Danny Espinosa. You see Russell Martin setting up for that sinker away. Jeff Locke got just a little bit too much plate. Espinosa all over it. McCutchen tracking. Nice play to pull up and knowing he didn't have a chance.
So a 2-out double by Espinosa. And Ian Desmond will stand in. He is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly that produced a run.
Good sinker to a corner right there for strike 1.
That was an unearned run by Washington in the 3rd inning. Desmond riding a 10-game hitting streak. Outside the strike zone.
Check out the OPS for Ian Desmond on base plus slugging percentage, .845. Major league average is in the low 700s.
Foul straight back by Desmond. When you look at these two teams, you kind of see the future, don't you, FP? When you look at the youth on these two teams, the pitching staffs, and Washington's clearly no fluke what they did last year, but a slower start now.
Well, I think the future for the Pittsburgh Pirates, no doubt, is bright. I think it's more about the presence for the Washington Nationals, coming off a 98-win campaign and winning the National League East. It's about right now. And maybe it's about right now with the Pirates, but it was about right now with that pitch from Jeff Locke.
And Desmond gets punched out. Game presented by Budweiser. Sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Steven Strasburg, I just remember, was it last week? I think it was Monday or Tuesday. Monday, I think, when he pitched against Atlanta. And he faced Justin Upton, who still leads the league in home runs, and threw 97, 97, 97, 3 pitches in a row.
Well, that's about the time when you were wondering if he was hurt, because he was shaking his arm all the time. And the reason we didn't talk about it on our broadcast was because of what you just said. That's how he finished the game, with 3 strikeouts in the 6th inning. And I think there was a little anger behind some of those fastballs to Justin Upton.
Jordy Mercer, second appearance. Grounded to third his first time up. And Strasburg's line, as you see it now, from Monday. And Mercer with a drilled single to right. Fox Sports proudly supports Feeding America, the nation's leading domestic hunger relief charity. Next Saturday, May 11th, help stamp out hunger by leaving a bag of non-perishable food items next to your mailbox. Your letter carrier will deliver the items to Feeding America food banks across the country. Visit feedingamerica.org/stamp out hunger for more information. Clint Barmas, number 8 hitter on the lineup. And a base hit his only appearance. Hit in the air to left center field. This could find some grass. And it's out of here. The grass is in the bullpen.
Well, the long balls definitely hurt Steven Strasburg today. Clint Barmas, a guy that's been heating up, 7 for his last 16, and had a home run to those numbers. Got all of that one to one of the deepest parts of this ballpark, into the Nationals bullpen. That ball was struck.
Oh, it was indeed his first home run of the year for Barmas.
And they got a fastball right down the middle, knew what to do with it, and rode this one out maybe a little bit against the wind, too. So a home run for Barmas against traffic to make this game 4-2. Steven Strasburg can't believe it.
Meanwhile, his counterpart stands in, Jeff Locke, who's enjoying the run support. Locke has been up one time and laid down a sacrifice, which was successful. Pitches in for a strike. Steven Strasburg has found a couple of balls. Get out of here quick. Marte in the 3rd, and now Barmas here in the 5th. That one caught the corner. Talk about Strasburg's temperament off the field.
Well, he's a guy that works hard between starts, obviously. His work ethic is like no other, but I think one of the things he's trying to control this season a little bit better is maybe mound presence and body language, and not showing when things aren't going maybe exactly the way he wants to. Such a perfectionist out there that maybe if he makes 1 or 2 bad pitches, doesn't get a call, it affects him, but I think that's all part of the maturation process.
Time for the Ace Helpful Hardware Player Profile, brought to you by Ace, the helpful place. And you see the numbers on strikeouts for Steven Strasburg. Most strikeouts, a minimum of 50 starts. But this was expected of Steven Strasburg, was it not? I mean, people expected him to be a strikeout pitcher. And then, of course, they economized his workload last year.
Clint Hurdle and John Hirschbeck getting into it right now after that first strike to Starling Marte.
Well, maybe Marte's foot is outside the batter's box.
No, I didn't like the call. It was a 2-seam fastball in. Wilson Ramos' glove almost hit the ground, and Marte didn't like it. Clint Hurdle didn't like it.
Marte with a home run in the 3rd.
They let John Hirschbeck know.
Swings and fouls it back.
And I think they had a beef. That's not a strike, and he called it one.
So Clint having a little folly with John Hirschbeck. Oh, last too long.
And then Marte has to offer at that pitch right there because of the called first strike in this sequence.
Clint won his 700th game last Sunday at St. Louis. The 39th manager in the Pirates' history. You know, the Pirates are 127 years young.
He's still laughing about strike one. Only thing is, he's not in that batter's box fixing 96. I don't think Marte thinks it's funny.
Starling Marte having an outstanding year. That pitch misses outside.
But I think to your question, Howard, about Steven Strasburg being a strikeout guy, if that's who you are, that's who you are. I mean, if you're a power guy with 3+ pitches, it's hard to pitch to contact because guys can't put your stuff into play. So a lot like a hitter that gets caught in between maybe looking for a fastball or a changeup. As a pitcher, you can't get caught in between being a pitch to contact guy or a strikeout guy. It's got to be one or the other. And if the God's blessed you with the arm that he has, so be it. Be a strikeout guy. That's your lot in life. There's a lot of guys and a lot of worse things that could happen than that.
Marte is the 5th strikeout victim of Steven Strasburg. And you see the pitch count. He had excellent 2nd and 4th where he minimized the damage. Swing by Snyder, slow roller, and Strasburg will meet him along the first base line for the out. A celebrity of sorts. This was back in January as he appeared on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Well, he's got a lot going for a 20-year-old kid. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with his demeanor. We spoke to him in the locker room before the game. We touched on his hero, the late Mickey Mantle. Harper again swings on the first pitch and sends this into center field for a base hit.
Well, I think there was questions about Bryce Harper, the person, maybe when he first got called up. You know, you hear all the stories, you read the stuff on the internet, but once the rest of the league saw him play, they realized what a talent he was. And, you know, he's a guy that makes contact with his back foot in the air. And by no means are we comparing the Hall of Fame career of Roberto Clemente to Bryce Harper in any way, shape, or form, but just a similarity on guys that create so much bat speed and so much torque in their swings that they can't rotate on the backside. It actually comes off the ground. And very similar approaches as far as contact with your back foot in the air between the great Roberto Clemente and the young Bryce Harper. There's the statue right outside the ballpark. The right field wall here named Clemente Wall after the great Roberto Clemente. It's 21 feet high in honor of the great one.
3,000 hits and a tragic ending.
Let's check it out one more time. At contact, back foot on the ground. You don't see that very often, folks. And a couple hitters come to mind. Maybe Frank Thomas from the right side, like Roberto Clemente. And we had a breakdown on our broadcast this year of Babe Ruth. So by no means are we putting Bryce Harper in those categories. I mean, let's make that perfectly clear right now. We just think it's pretty cool that guys with a lot of bat speed that can't keep their back foot on the ground because of so much torque created in their swing.
Davey Johnson has the distinction, the manager of the Nationals has the distinction of batting behind Hank Aaron when he was with the Braves and behind Sadaharu Oh, the great slugger from Japan when he played over there. Sadaharu Oh brought his right foot up before he hit over 800 home runs.
Yeah, big leg kick guy. And Davey Johnson that year with the Braves had 43 home runs, and I think Hank Aaron had 40. So something Davey Johnson could tell everybody. I had more home runs than Hank Aaron in 1 year.
Zimmerman with a triple in his last at-bat in the 4th inning. That produced a run. Pirates on top behind Jeff Locke, and he's gotten some decent run support. The Nationals, by contrast, have 3 runs scored in their last 21 innings.
Yeah, the offense hasn't clicked yet this year for the Nationals, but give Jeff Locke a lot of credit here today, doing a nice job of moving that fastball in and out. And at times he spun out of there early like that pitch right there and had trouble commanding the outer half. And when he's lights out, he's nailing that outer third to righties with that two-seam fastball. He's battled here today, and we talked to Clint Hurdle before the game on how he's matured as a pitcher to be able to go out there with not his A-plus stuff and compete and maybe even get a win for his ball club. And that's a sign of a guy that's turning the corner.
Do you run Harper here even though there's nobody out? You're down by 2. And Zimmerman has a tendency to strike out. Do you dare send him?
Yeah. You just got to make sure that you're confident in Ryan Zimmerman putting the ball in play. Because if you set him in a 3-2 count off a lefty, you're not banking on him stealing the base. You're banking on the hitter putting the ball in play, and Davey Johnson plays it straight.
And Zimmerman takes a pass. Today's game is sponsored by the makers of One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball, and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
That's going to do it for Jeff Locke. Clint Hurdle coming to the mound. He already signaled to the bullpen.
Well, we're not sure who's coming in, but I suspect it might be Justin Wilson, who'll be coming in from the bullpen. When we return, for the moment, it's 4-2 Pirates. 25-year-old Justin Wilson, left-hand pitcher from Anaheim, California, will replace Jeff Locke. His last appearance, pitched 2 1/3 on Wednesday in Milwaukee. Only been charged with 1 run in his last 11 innings pitched.
Kind of a quick hook right there by Clint Hurdle. Locke at 74 pitches.
Adam LaRoche will be the first he faces with runners at first and second and nobody out. And a great scoring opportunity for the Nationals that have found runs hard to come by.
Maybe that last walk is all Clint Hurdle needed to see. Going to his bullpen to a 3-pitch guy. Fastball, slider, curveball. Fastball averages 94 miles an hour.
Pitch a bit high. So the runner's on. Obviously the responsibility of Jeff Locke, who went 5+. Gave up 2 runs but only 1 earned. Walked 3, struck out 3. And as FP mentioned, 74 pitches. LaRoche with a walk and a sacrifice fly. This one hit foul past third base and into the seats.
The Nationals trying to cash in on 5 free base runners today. 3 walks, a hit by pitch, and an error. Down by 2 runs here in the 6th, and Clint Hurdle trying to ride that bullpen that's been so great for the Pirates early in this season.
Wilson set. And the 2-1 pounded foul. Elsewhere in the NL Central, the Cardinals in the 5th inning lead Milwaukee 3-2. The Yankees have beaten Oakland 4-2. Oakland has had the Yankees number over the last couple of seasons.
Except for in 2001, when Derek Jeter flipped the ball to home and ruined my only chance at winning a World Series ring.
So you hold that against Jeter, do you?
And he's still one of my favorite players.
He's a lot of people's fan favorite, there's no question. 2-2 pitch. The thing that's interesting about the Yankees is where they are relative to who they don't have.
A lot of injuries this season. I think that happens to any ball club when you start to age a little bit. But most of those injuries have been from the fluke variety, and Yankee fans everywhere.
Wilson set to deliver to LaRoche. Breaking ball misses, and the count will go full.
I went to that breaking ball right there because Adam LaRoche was all over that 95-mile-an-hour fastball up in his eyes, fouled it straight back. Anytime the hitter fouls the ball straight back to the screen, he's telling everybody in the ballpark that he's close. He's right on it.
He had an 0 for 26 slump, LaRoche. Broken last Monday against Atlanta and has been on a little bit of a tear in recent games. Here's the payoff pitch by Wilson. This is outside, and the bags are full of Nationals.
6th free base runner for the Pirates today. 4th walk of the day, and Adam LaRoche is seeing the ball big, and Clint Hurdle not really excited about his pitchers putting guys on.
I had a manager, a coach actually, it was in college, and he said, in high school rather, and he said, put it over the plate. I don't care if they hit it. You got 8 guys behind you.
Yeah, pound the strike zone, good things happen. You can't defend a walk. I mean, it's a cliche, but it's true. Nothing will frustrate a skipper, or maybe even the guys on defense, more than a base on balls.
Tyler Moore looks at one inside. Has a walk and a ground out to short, hitting 188, a little bit below the Mendoza line. And now the base is loaded, and the Pirates laying back at double play depth.
Well, these are situations that good RBI guys are looking for the ball out over the plate, thinking about going back up the middle or the other way. Keeps you on the off-speed stuff and keeps you on that pull mode that makes you susceptible to anything soft.
They play Moore straight away. Well, Justin Wilson now flirting with some danger.
Good fastball to a corner right there. 95 miles an hour on the black inside. That's a pitch you don't want as a hitter until you get to 2 strikes and you have to swing at it.
Wilson Ramos on deck. And Tyler Moore behind the count. And he struck out half swinging. That's a big out for Justin Wilson of the Pirates.
Well, that strikeout right there was because of strike 2 to Tyler Moore. He made him aware of 95 on the black inside. So as a hitter, you're thinking, well, that guy's fastball's got some hair on it. I got to get started early and get to that inside pitch. And what happens is you cheat to get to the fastball in. It leaves you open to that curveball away. And it's a nice sequence right there from Justin Wilson getting back in the strike zone to Tyler Moore.
Think about what the marketing arm of MLB would do with balls with hair on it. I mean, fastballs? No.
Which means it's got a little fuzz on it.
Yeah,
a little something to it.
Is that something you picked up in the minor leagues, did you?
That's dugout talk.
So Wilson Ramos trying to make something happen for the Nats. No advancement.
Well, it's funny how you hear the dugout. Everybody close by here at this ballpark telling Russell Martin where that baseball was. Maybe Clint Hurdle, all the coaches right there, screaming to him. And Davey Johnson looking for a big hit from his ball club to tie this game up.
Hurdle doesn't look the least bit upset. Bags are soaked with Nationals. And Ramos chases one. With the bases loaded this season, the Nationals are 1 for 10.
Well, it's just a perfect example of how this ball club early has been trying too hard to do something maybe extraordinary. When you have as much talent as they do, ordinary works.
Wilson set for the 2-1. And this is hit right up the middle, base hit. This will chase a couple home. And we are tied at 4.
It's a strange game, isn't it? Wilson Ramos, first time up in the second inning, hit a ball maybe even better than this one, right to Clint Barmas at shortstop for the 6-4-3 double play. This one obviously up the middle a little bit more. Similar swing, different result. Base hit up the middle. This game's all tied. Walks will kill you.
And those 2 runs will be charged to Jeff Locke. So the books are closed on Locke. Roger Bernardino will handle the bat now. And Jeff Locke not too pleased. 4 runs on Locke, 3 of which were earned. Bernardino's been hit by a pitch and grounded to second.
And nobody up in the Nationals bullpen. Steven Strasburg on deck. He can stay in this game.
Well, if Wilson is able to get by Bernardino and dispense with Strasburg, the damage has been done, and we are in a tie game as we're getting ready to head to the 7th inning. But first things first. Swing and a miss. Actually head to the bottom of the 6th when the Pirates come up. Cincinnati leads Chicago 6-4 in the 6th inning. That game in Chicago. Here's Wilson's pitch. Swung on and missed, and Bernardino is out.
Justin Wilson with a challenge fastball right here to Roger Bernardino. Just a little bit late, maybe in pull mode. Came off at a hair, and now not done yet. Silver Slugger, the reigning Silver Slugger, Steven Strasburg up. Hit the ball hard his last time to second base.
He's got 2 hits in 12 appearances at the plate so far this young season.
Career numbers, 193 average. 1 home run, 8 RBI. He puts on a display in BP. I'll tell you what, he's got some kind of pop. Really? To all fields.
Runner still at first and second with 2 out. I would think that when you look at Steven Strasburg and the hype that he was associated with, we've now seen some sampling of what he's able to do as a pitcher, although he had the surgery. And if he's able to hang around for a long time in this game, the game is better off. He's an exciting pitcher.
I think guys like that, good for baseball, obviously.
That's back to the backstop. The runners will advance 90 feet.
We talk about having a situation to help yourself out as a pitcher. Right now, after this wild pitch that was nowhere near, Russell Martin had no chance of catching that baseball. Strasburg with a chance to seriously help himself and his ball club right here in a 2-strike count.
So Wilson operating in the sunshine, and the batter's box is in the shade. You take a look at exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes it has an effect. Wilson ahead of the count to Strasburg. Off-speed pitch is a beauty. Nice changeup, and he struck him out. But the Nationals have put 2 on the board, and we're all even. In a 4-4 ball game, and the heart of the Pirate order, McCutchen, Jones, and Martin to face Steven Strasburg. McCutchen is 0 for 2 in the ball game, and he has dominated the Washington Nationals in his career in the previous 24 games, but so far no offense for McCutchen. And he looks at a strike. After today, the Pirates played 2 home games with Seattle. And this is after, not after today, but after the series. I'll finish the thought in a second as McCutchen swings and misses. They'll play the Nationals tomorrow. And then after an off day, Tuesday and Wednesday, they play Seattle here in Pittsburgh. And then a 4-game road trip at the Mets. And then a 10-game homestand against Milwaukee, Houston, and Count even at 2-2 to McCutchen. Believe it or not, Steven Strasburg has not won a game since opening day. And it's not that he's pitched poorly. He hasn't got very much run support.
When you talk about the Pirates and the great start they've gotten off to this year, you just feel like it has a different feel here. Some scouts saying this is the best Pittsburgh team they've seen in 20 years. And you know, they always have those second half fades, at least the last couple of years in 2011, 2012.
Well, McCutchen draws a pass as we go to Matt Pasturzian at the MLB Network studios for Game Break. Matt?
You'll get there, Howard, with that. St. Louis and Milwaukee. Alan Craig, a team best 20 home runs without a dinger. Mix in a long ball. A home run less streak is over. Cards looking to improve to 5-1 against Milwaukee this year. Howard and FP, back to you, lads.
Matt, I owe you an apology. It's Vasgersian. Vasgersian, I'm sorry. I have now gotten it straight. I will not make that mistake again. I apologize.
It's all right, 1 for 5. That's the story of my career. You're all right, Howard.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
You know, and there's a feeling here in Pittsburgh that they've made the adjustments, surrounded themselves with better veteran players to go with these rookie players so they can avoid the second half fade like they've had the last couple of years. See, through July 28th in 2011, 54-49 and 18-41 after. And almost the same thing last year. And talking to Neil Huntington, the general manager for the Pirates, they've done everything from nutrition to how they travel to depth in the organization to the type of player they sign, the veteran guy. And I found it interesting that they've broken down their travel, and they've had some road woes over the last couple of years to try to travel better, have better nutrition, how these guys eat, what time they eat on the road, what kind of food they eat. So much goes into being a Major League Baseball player and being in charge of a Major League franchise right now. I mean, you lift up every rug and try to find every advantage you can get to break things down. And when you talk about the people that Neil Huntington has surrounded himself with in this organization, whether it's his coaching staff, the players he's signed, he told me quite frankly he didn't see that slide coming, and he doesn't see it coming this year. And I said, well, if you did see it coming this year, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. But I think the guys got the right idea here in Pittsburgh, and this is a different Pirates team than years past. And I think they have the pitching staff, the rotation, the combination of veterans and young players, good young players, to compete all season long in the NL Central.
Don't be surprised if they send McCutchen. He leads the Pirates with 6 stolen, second actually behind Marte. He has 6 stolen bases. Marte up near the leaders in the National League with 9. And a swing and a miss by Garrett Jones, and there's the first out of the inning. Strikeout number 6 to Steven Strasburg. Major League Baseball and People Magazine are looking to salute our nation's veterans and military service members. 30 veterans and military service members, one to represent each Major League Baseball team, will be recognized at the 2013 MLB All-Star Game in New York. To nominate, go to tributeforheroes.com. Russell Martin, who was hit into a double play and grounded out to second, 0 for 2. McCutchen at first with 1 away. Oh, that hit him. That hurt a little bit. And Martin glares at Strasburg as he runs to first.
Well, there's no way that Steven Strasburg wants to put the go-ahead run in scoring position here in the 6th inning by hitting Russell Martin. Just a fastball that he spun out of there on. Lost his release point. I don't know if that got Russell Martin in the elbow guard or not. Let's check it out one more time. Ooh, that might have got more tricep.
And you can see not too thrilled as he's running to first base. Alvarez stands in with runners at first and second and 1 out. And Strasburg looking for a little consultation as he brings out Wilson Ramos.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the first inning for Steven Strasburg and his struggles this year, but to me, it's been the leadoff hitter of every inning. Last time out, he walked the leadoff guy 3 of the 6 innings. He was on the mound, and today, 5 of the first 6 leadoff hitters have reached for the Pirates.
McCutcheon, little lead off second. And that is in for a strike.
And why is it significant? Because he's a rhythm guy that likes to get into his mechanics and get the feel for his pitches out of the windup. And this season so far, he's constantly been in the stretch early in every inning.
Strasburg dealing quickly, and Alvarez swings empty. Alvarez played college ball at Vanderbilt. Played 170 games in college. He had 162 RBIs. This time swings out of the strike zone, and Alvarez is gone.
A good changeup right there from Strasburg. 87 miles an hour. Good fade to it late. Alvarez maybe thinking fastball in. You see the pull swing, changeup to the other side of the plate. Good pitch by Strasburg.
7th strikeout for Steven Strasburg. And we see no activity, except I do see in the back end of the bullpen.
Tony Watson getting loose.
This is a hard bullpen to see because they're stacked up. Why do you think that is? That's an interesting piece of just assemblage of where the bullpens are.
You see that a lot in ballparks where they're side by side right next to each other. Philadelphia comes to mind, Citizens Bank, where they're kind of layered out there.
Mercer grounded out and singled in 2 trips. Homered last night, the key hit in the victory by the Pirates, 3-1.
A tough out for the Nationals, swinging the bat good and playing a nice second base too.
Hit in the air to left field, drifting back to the warning track, and it's hauled in. So Harper holds it in, and that concludes the bottom of the 6th. We'll return to Pittsburgh after a break from your local Fox station. Baseball presented by Budweiser. Here in Pittsburgh, Howard David, F.P. Santangelo, in a tie ball game. Into the air to right field by Espinoza. Coming over and hauling it in is Travis Snyder. That's the first out of the first pitch. Ian Desmond will come in to the plate.
Well, this is winning time, obviously, when you have the bullpens that the Pirates have and the bullpen that the Nationals have. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Pretty much next one that scores wins.
Swing and a miss by Desmond. There's a 10-game hitting streak on the line. He is 0 for 2 and a sac fly.
Trying to make this a 5-4 game with one swing. But
looked like he was trying to butt his way onto the pitch. Was in too tight.
But the way Mark Melanson's been pitching, Jason Grilli, the reliever of the month for the month of April, the way the Pirates bullpen has been so great early in this season. The same on the other side with the Nationals. Figure next run wins this ball game.
Down the line, it's a fair ball, and unable to make the play is Alvarez. It'll be an error.
Well, I'll tell you what, Adam LaRoche has had his struggles offensively for the Washington Nationals, but he's never taken his glove on defense. And you can make the argument right here that Pedro Alvarez, who's had a rough go early in this season with a couple of strikeouts today, the last one in a big situation, may have taken his bat out on defense right there. If I ain't hitting, you ain't hitting. And that wasn't the case.
Well, Bryce Harper has 1 base hit and 3 trips. An engaging young man at the age of 20 seems a little bit more mature than that. Dan swings at the first pitch and try to take it down the left field line, and it goes foul.
And most home runs after first 168 games before you're 21 years old. So before you can have a drink, check it out. Bryce Harper, 31 home runs. Pretty good company right there.
Well,
Ken Griffey Jr., Mickey Mantle, and Tony C. The only one ahead of Bryce Harper.
Wilson ready to work. And Harper hits this one in the air. McCutchen gracefully back, picks it up. So that's 2 out. Just a quick word about Tony Conigliaro. You remember that he was hit in the eye, and that curtailed his career, but he was a very promising player for Boston.
Well, he came back the next year and had a great season, and then the vision deteriorated after that, and obviously shortened his career.
Ryan Zimmerman, 1 for 2 with a walk. He tripled leading off the 4th inning.
Led to the ear flap that you see right now on hitters. Yeah. Back then they just wore the skull cap. He got drilled in the eye, and they felt like the ear flap would add more protection, so something like that never happened again.
Desmond on at first. There's 2 out. Top half of inning number 7.
Brian Morris is back there, folks. Trust us. There he is. Just a little camouflage as we speak. There you go.
Gives the cameraman a workout. Nats are 1 for 10 today with men on base. And yet we are in a 4-4 game, an unusual game in many ways. Not many hits. We've seen 2 big flies and a triple. Swing and a miss by Zimmerman. We've had 3 errors in this game, 2 sacrifice flies, 3 men hit by a pitch.
A glove on the wrong hand.
A glove on the wrong hand.
And I think that argument with Russell Martin and John Hirschbeck was about his foot not being in the batter's box, so we've seen it all here today.
Complete game. Every column filled up. Pitch up high.
Yeah, he throws that glove at the baseball. It's an automatic triple. I mean, it was a triple for Ryan Zimmerman anyways because of the weird carom down in the corner. And still,
Marte could have probably used a goalie glove.
You come to the ballpark, you never know what you're going to see on a given day. That one for me is a first.
And the 3-1. Well, the count goes full to Ryan Zimmerman. And Desmond will be off with 2 out. Adam LaRoche waiting on deck should Zimmerman be successful. Pitch up high, and it's first and second. Matt Vasgersian with a game break.
In Adam Wainwright's last 3 starts versus Milwaukee, Howard, he had allowed a total of 2 earned runs in 25 innings. Today, a season-high 5 as he gives up the lead in the 6th inning. The Brewers are into the shaky St. Louis bullpen. Milwaukee has taken the lead. Back to you guys.
Well, that's interesting news for Pittsburgh. You see they're a game behind on the NL Central. But talking standings at this point, FP, it's early on in the season. No team has more than a 3-game lead in any division in baseball right now.
That's still early, obviously, long way to go. I mean, you obviously peek at the standings. As a player, you're just trying to do your thing, get your team heading in the right direction. The Pirates obviously trying to keep doing what they're doing. A little hiccup in Milwaukee where they've had their problems historically, but when you walk as many guys as they have today, it's tough to win a big league game. 5th walk of the day for Brewers pitchers.
Cardinals on a 3-game winning streak. And Adam LaRoche with a walk, a sacrifice, with 2 walks and a sacrifice fly. LaRoche, a dangerous hitter.
2 walks today, sac fly.
Hitting just 154, but better of late. That misses outside.
Yeah, those are pitches that LaRoche was swinging at a couple of weeks ago, the borderline pitch. And you can tell the game has slowed down for him, seeing the ball big.
You know, he has seen 20 pitches so far today. 1 hitter. Well, Wilson's digging himself a little bit of a hole.
Be interesting to see if Davey Johnson gives Adam LaRoche a green light right here.
Tyler Moore was the hitter you saw on deck. Nervous time for the Pirate skipper. Not even close. And the sacks are soaked.
6th walk of the day for Pirates pitchers, and Clint Hurdle's seen enough.
So Hurdle coming out to make a pitching change as we step aside. The new pitcher for the Pirates, Brian Morris, making his 4th appearance of the year. He came over with he came over along with Andy LaRoche, an infielder, and a deal from the Dodgers.
Yeah, 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, cutter. He likes the cutter at 89, throws it almost as much as the fastball. Fastball is averaging 93 miles an hour. And batting average against 1 for 15, 067. He's had 4 inherited runners this year and hasn't allowed 1 to score yet. Huge situation in this ballgame.
Bases loaded, and not because of hits. A lot of walks given up by Pirate pitching. And Tyler Moore, the right fielder, will come on to try to make some noise with 2 out. Not an auspicious start. Walks drive everybody crazy, except the guys who are getting them.
And 6 walks, a hit by pitch, and an error. That's 8 base runners the Nats have had aboard today without a base hit. 8.
Morris ready.
Nope.
That'll find the seats. Nice crowd today here in Pittsburgh. You see Jason Worth, who's not playing today, dealing with a hamstring issue.
And he wasn't supposed to play all weekend, and he's probably chomping at the bit, bugging Davey Johnson. Get AB here. Grabbing a helmet.
So the count all even at a ball and a strike. 2 out, the bases loaded for Washington at the top of the 7th inning.
Interesting.
Well, you saw Jason Worth when he made that huge contract. Did he get a lot of heat from the fans?
The first year was not good. After that, everything's been great.
2-1 the count to Tyler Moore.
Well, listen, if you're hitting right now, you bet fastball, you look at a zone, and you let it fly. He throws you a slider, you look silly, and you live with it. But 2-1 count, bases loaded. Tyler Moore looking for 1 pitch in 1 spot.
Morris ready. And that evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bases loaded for Washington. In the key part of this game, Washington got out first with an unearned run. That was in the 3rd, and then the Pirates came back with a couple, thanks to the long ball. That was delivered by Starling Marte. Pirates had the lead at 4-2. Washington evened it up in the last inning, and here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So we remain even as we go to the home 7th in Pittsburgh. shortstop foolproof stat. Pirates offense this season 13th in the league in runs, last in batting average in the first 6 innings, but second in runs, first in batting average from inning 7 on. Where are we right now? 7th inning. So we'll see Clint Barmas and then the pitcher spot. Barmas with a single and a home run. And as you well know, FP, Strasburg has not gone beyond 7 innings ever.
Davey Johnson trying to get his starting pitcher a win. A nice job by Brian Morris to get out of that jam. Some nasty cutters to Tyler Moore. Huge part of this game, to say the least.
Right back to Strasburg, and an easy toss for the first out as we go to Matt and the MLB Network studios for Game Break.
Developing story in Anaheim, guys. 36-year-old Freddie Garcia is making his season debut. The 14-year vet signed a minor league deal with Baltimore just before opening day. He has not allowed a hit through 6. We'll keep you posted. Back to Howard and FP.
All right, Matt, thank you. Little history, perhaps. Well, Gabby Sanchez will step in now to pinch hit for the pitcher. Sanchez hitting .264 and has got a lot of pop in his bat.
A good night last night with a couple of base hits. A former University of Miami Hurricane star coming over and helping this ball club out immensely. Done a nice job against left-handed starters this year and did a nice job last night against Ross Detweiler.
Sanchez looks at one up high. Full home run, 16 RBIs for Pittsburgh.
He's knocked in a run in 4 of his last 5 games. At least 1 RBI in 5 of his last 7 plate appearances.
Short hop, pretty play. Across the diamond in time. Today's game presented by Budweiser. Sponsored by Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. And by the 2013 Ford F-150 with EcoBoost. Howard David, FP Santangelo, and wish you were on the boat, yes or no?
That's your yacht right there.
Oh, yes.
The Howard David family yacht.
Yes. Me and water do not mix. Drink it, yes. And by the way, that's the only way you're getting me on the river. It's not with one of those, what do they have, those race boats they use? They have, I don't even know what they call them. You know, the long skinny boats with 8 guys in it? No motor.
Rowboats?
Yes.
See you in a rowboat. Down the Allegheny.
Starling Marte has had himself an interesting day, to say the least. He's homered, knocked in 2. Then they had a little bit of a run-in with a ball hit down the left field line. Swings at a pitch out of the strike zone. 1, 2, 3 for Strasburg in the 7th. We remain tied. Baseball presented by Budweiser. Howard David, F.P. Santangelo in the top of the 8th inning. And a new pitcher, Tony Watson. His last outing and not an auspicious performance by Watson. Allowed 3 runs in a third of an inning on Tuesday at Milwaukee on a Ricky Weeks home run in the 8th inning.
Yeah, 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, change. Fastball averaging 92 miles an hour. The batting average against this year, just 188.
Well, bottom third of the Nationals order. Ramos, Bernardina, and Strasburg scheduled to hit. Do you expect to see Strasburg hit for?
I would imagine Jason Worth has a helmet on down there in the Nationals dugout. He's got a bat in his hand, so that hamstring must be feeling better for Worth.
By the way, Freddie Garcia's no-hit bid is ended. Hit on the ground, deep short. Fumbling it and stumbling it, but coming up with the play is Clint Barnes. So 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 8th for Washington.
Wilson Ramos with another hard hit ground ball. Clint Barnes doing a nice job of not panicking and knowing the speed of your runner. For you kids at home, that's the first thing you should think about when you're playing defense. Know how fast the guy is and know how much time you have should you bobble it.
Roger Bernardino has been hit by a pitch, grounded out and struck out, faking bunt. Cleveland has beaten Minnesota today 7-3. Watson's pitch hit the first. No problem dealing with it. 1 up, 1 down as Jones handles it. As we get an update and a break now with Matt.
Howard, no-hitter alert over. Freddie Garcia had not allowed a hit until the 7th. Eric Ibar leads it off with a little duck snort into center. Not exactly Marwin Gonzalez breaking up Yu Darvish's perfect game. But what do you want from us? Back to you guys.
That's good.
A little Texas leaguer, a little duck snort. I like it.
So Strasburg, his day is done. And Steve Lombardozzi will stand in. 95 pitches for Strasburg. He struck out 8. And Lombardozzi from a Lombardozzi baseball legacy.
Even though Steven Strasburg gave up 4 runs today, I was impressed with the fact that he pounded the strike zone. Jason Worth would take the day off. Lombardozzi could be the pinch hitter right now. He hit a couple of guys, but very aggressive with the fastball today and very aggressive early in the strike zone.
Over near the right, the first base seats, and it goes in. Well, here's a little bit of trivia here. Tom Walker, his son Neil, obviously he's now on the DL. And the closer for the Pirates, Steve Briley's dad, pitched in the late 70s. Lombardozzi, I mentioned, it's actually Steve Jr. His dad played in the late 80s. And then Dave LaRoche, his son Adam. And you see that he was in the big leagues. And Jason Worth, who you speculated might be the pinch hitter, apparently he's just going to sit it out.
He's the kind of guy that'll bug Davey Johnson to get in there any way he can.
Lombardozzi fouls it straight back. Then there was Ducky Schofield, Jason Worth's grandfather, played with the Pirates in the 50s and 60s. And part of the 1960 World Series victory by the Pirates over the Yankees. Lombardozzi into the ground. It's going to be a tough chance. Does he have enough on it? No. It'll be a base hit. Lombardozzi will leg it out. You know, when you think of Pirate history, FP, you think of some of the greats that have 51 players in the Hall of Fame that played here in Pittsburgh. And we're talking about not just Hall of Famers, but legends. You saw Clemente before. How about Pop Stargell?
We are family, all the champions here. Bill Mazeroski. It's a great city, a great baseball town. And I'll tell you what, this is one of the nicest parks, if not the nicest park in all of baseball.
Mazeroski, 1960, hit the walk-off home run. They didn't call it walk-off home runs then, but that won the World Series. Espinosa to the plate. Swings and misses. He is 1 for 4 today. You know what was amazing about that World Series in 1960? The Yankees won 3 games in that series, and they scored double-digit runs in all their wins. Like 16-3, 11-0, 12. I mean, it's ridiculous numbers, and they wound up losing the series.
Now you win the games account, and you blow off the boat races, I guess, right?
Good job. Espinosa swings and comes up empty. We are in the 8th inning, looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th. Snyder, McCutchen, and Jones for Pittsburgh. Well, there's the 4th hit batsman today, at an inopportune moment.
That puts the go-ahead run in scoring position in the form of Steve Lombardozzi, and it gives Ian Desmond a chance to be a hero here in the 8th inning. Danny Espinosa just leaning into that, wearing it. No elbow guard for Espinosa.
You know, it's a step further into Pirate history. It's been 20 years since they've had a winning record. The last time they did was the last time they made the playoffs, and that was '92. They lost to the Braves. And a former Pirate, Sid Breen, scored the winning run in the 6th game. Was that 7th? Was that the 6th or 7th game? I think it was. It might be. Yeah, it was the 7th game. Sid Breen is slower than me.
Well, the story goes, Andy Van Slyke tried to move Barry Bonds over. Barry didn't listen to him. He was playing a little bit deep and a little to the other side. And the rest, they say, is history.
And back to the ball game as we go to the right field, and an easy chance to close out this inning, and put away by Travis Snyder. So the Nats have left 10 on base as we get set for the bottom of the 8th. They give up 4 runs and 5 hits, struck out 8, and maintains that streak of still not pitching past the 7th inning. But I thought he pitched pretty well.
Yeah, well, you know, you're in a close game. You got to get pinch hit for trying to get him the win. But I think when you talk about Stephen Strasburg, you look at the numbers from 2012 and 2013. There's been a lot about him having an off year this year. 2012, his ERA was 3.16 at the end of the year. Coming into today, 3.13. His hits per 9 last year, 7.7. This year, 8. His walks per 9 last year, 2.7. This year, 2.9. So the numbers very similar for Strasburg in the end of last season to as we speak. Just hasn't had the run support or maybe the help behind him that he had last season.
Tyler Clippard comes on for Washington. Last pitched on Tuesday. And he'll face Travis Snyder.
That 4-pitch guy. Fastball, cutter, curveball, change up. Tyler Clippard's best pitch. He's got a good one, folks. Fastball averages 93 miles an hour. And his outings usually are dependent on strike one, as are a lot of guys.
Snyder 0 for 3 in the ball game. He has struck out and grounded out twice. Twice he's grounded out. Strasburg was involved in the plays. One on a comebacker and then a slow roller up the first base line, and Strasburg tagged him out. And Snyder goes down swinging for the second time.
It's a changeup I'm talking about right there. 82 miles an hour. Down in the zone. You see the grip right there. Same arm speed as the fastball. Same arm angle as the fastball. Just about 10 miles an hour slower. Tough to pick up.
Well, Andrew McCutchen is 0 for 2 with a walk. Remember, we talked at the top of the show about how effective McCutchen was against Washington pitching.
456 coming into today's game. 41 for 90, 11 homers, 22 RBI, 24 career games. And I believe a 16-game hitting streak as well.
Yes. 4 home runs, 17 RBIs on the year from McCutchen, who has come on of late after a very slow start. Well, McCutchen now ahead on the count at 2-0. Against Clippard, 3 for 9, as you saw. Swung on and a base hit to left field by Andrew McCutchen. Oh, the sleeping dog just awoke. Today's game presented by Budweiser is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving. And by Taco Bell. Sometimes you've got to live Moss. McCutchen with a 1-out single here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
6 stolen bases on the year for McCutchen. I think he's going to run sometime in this sequence. A little lean going right there. Clippard throws over.
Garrett Jones 1 for 3. A base hit in the 4th inning and was erased on a double play. Clippard eyes and a swing and a miss. Garrett Jones has one of the most beautiful swings. And isn't that typical of a left-handed hitter?
Yeah, they have the pretty swings on that side of the plate, but when you face a changeup like that, you're betting fastball. It's hard to hold up.
As FP mentioned, McCutchen has 6 stolen bases. He's only been thrown out once. A little high and tight to Garrett Jones.
A lot of times when you're trying to steal a base, you key on the lower half of a pitcher, but with Tyler Clippard, he's a front shoulder guy. And what I mean by that is he starts open when he comes set, and the first thing to move isn't his front foot, it's his front shoulder. So if you're on first base, you're looking upper half against Tyler Clippard, and as soon as that front shoulder rolls in as a base runner, you take off.
Well, McCutchen drawing a lot of attention from Tyler Clippard.
There's different keys, and that's a throw over right there. But when he goes home, The lead shoulder, the left shoulder, if you're looking at it from first base, is the first thing to move, and that would be your key if you're going to steal a base. Watch the upper half against Clipper.
Pitch outside.
They're pretty quick to the plate right there. A little slide step action, but watch the shoulder. It's the first thing to go. And if you're Andrew McCutchen at first base, that's your key. It's a good look at it right there. See the front side open, first thing to go, left shoulder.
McCutchen doesn't go, and Garrett fouls it back.
Sometimes guys get into a rhythm where at first base you count after he comes set 1,001, 1,002. You do it 2 or 3 pitches. He gets into a groove. You go. Sometimes the key's the front foot. Other times it's the shoulder. There's different things that base stealers look for to give them that edge and that first step quickness to rip a bag.
Not a lot of production with men on base today for either team. It's right back to the box, caught on a fly, and they're going to double off McCutchen. Well hit ball, good reaction by Clippard, but that closes out the bottom of the 8th for the Pirates as we head to the top of the 9th. Game at 4. Bryce Harper will lead it off. They go, he goes 3, 4, and 5 for the Nationals. Harper, Zimmerman, and LaRoche against Tony Watson. Harper very quick to go after pitches. He's hit every time he has been up. I believe he's gone after the first pitch.
And ever since he ran into the wall in Atlanta, and he has those bruised ribs on his left side.
Now there's something that is unusual. Bryce Harper bunting.
He's been doing that, Howard. I feel like he's not real thrilled about going deep into at-bats right now with those bruised ribs he has. And you see him every once in a while square to bunt. And I don't know that I've ever seen him get one down. I mean, he's tried to base hit bunt probably about 10, 15 times since he's been a big leaguer, and I think he's fouled them all off.
He got off to such a hot start and is hitting below 150 the last 10 ball games. And that almost hit him. Boy, we've had a lot of that today. 4 players have been hit by a pitch.
There's been bean balls, walks, all kinds of pitches not close to the strike zone in this game.
Watson dealing with a very dangerous Bryce Harper. And that was in for a strike. Harper's had one in his career. You can't talk about his career very long because he's played a season and roughly a fifth. And he's had 1 base hit for a bunt base hit.
Man, I don't remember it. I'll tell you what, you know, it's a good idea, especially when your ribs are sore. But for me, if you got a guy with 9 home runs and 18 RBIs in a tie ball game late, if he's healthy and 100%, Davey Johnson would like to see one in the Allegheny.
You have to hit it 455 to do that. Here's the pitch, and he got him. Excellent pitch by Watson. Welcome you to the broadcast. I'm Howard David along with FP Santangelo. I am amazed with the kind of game this has turned into from the standpoint of there's been a couple of home runs, but not a lot of production with men on base.
Yeah, the Nationals have definitely had their chance. 8 or 9 free base runners in this ball game via the walk or the hit by pitch. Haven't been able to take advantage of it. But I think Clint Hurdle's bullpen, who's been fantastic for him all season long, showing everybody why right now.
Ryan Zimmerman, after a brief stay on the disabled list, has come back in a rage. Got a triple here today. He's walked twice and hit 1 long fly ball to center field.
I was talking about this last night. Usually late in a tight ball game, the theory is make power hitters beat you the other way. But here in this ballpark with the short porch in right field to a power hitting right hand guy, that might be a mistake, especially a guy like Ryan Zimmerman or Jason Worth, to where they have enough pop to go out the other way. The big part of this ballpark is to left field, and that goes against what you're supposed to do late in a game. But I feel like you can get away with pounding right-handed hitters in here in a close ball game.
Zimmerman looks 1 high and tight. An activity with Storen and Soriano, the Nationals closer.
Soriano with the lead. Storen if it stays like it is.
Well, Grilly was working for Pittsburgh in the bullpen a little while ago as well. Watson set. That is hit straight back. And a souvenir. Did you ever catch a foul ball in the seats? You ever been in the seats?
I have. Every time there's a Fox Saturday baseball game, I'm at Nats Park sitting in the stands with the fans. Today I'm a little higher up.
It is pretty high here, but location's pretty good. 2-2 on Ryan Zimmerman. Down the right field line, just foul. That didn't miss by much, maybe a yard.
I'll take a look at it right here. Garrett Jones gives it a try, but the ball just lands foul. Not really that close, but had a weird sound off the bat. Let's listen to it. Oh, maybe not. Squared it up pretty good.
And the 2-2. Back our way. They're trying to get you.
You know, this is what I'm talking about. You look at how far it is to left center field out by the bullpen, 410 to the deepest part of the park. And the short porch in right field. I don't think make them beat you away in this ballpark applies.
Oh, my goodness. Zimmerman goes down in a heap. And that is the 5th time today a player has been hit by a pitch.
And you just don't see that at the major league level. Command to here today has been suspect on both sides as far as guys getting hit by pitches. I mean, you might see one on a given day, but this is the big leagues, and 5 guys getting hit in one game, and there's been no ill will. They haven't been on purpose. It's a close game. You don't want to put anybody on, but you see Ryan Zimmerman with a little chuckle there at first base saying, they got me right in the foot.
So Adam LaRoche, who has walked 3 times and hit a sacrifice fly, has not had an official at-bat yet today. And that misses outside. These two teams will duel again tomorrow. That will be the end of the 7-game Washington road trip. That one misses way outside.
I mean, 9 free base runners in this ball game for the Nationals. If you don't win this game, it's something you have to really look at as far as runners in scoring position. 1 for 12, Pirates 2 for 10, but very rarely, I'm trying to think of the last time where I've seen 9 base runners aboard that haven't had a hit in a big league game.
So we'll see if LaRoche is swinging on 2-0. He is. The Nationals go home for 2 games with Detroit. Is there any more potent 3-4-5 lineup than the Tigers have?
I don't think so. No way.
They play 3 with the Cubs and then a 10-game road trip out west to LA, San Diego, and San Francisco. Pack your bags. Zimmerman, little lead off first. And LaRoche stares at a strike over the outside corner.
Nice pitch by Tony Watson right there. 2-1 count. You got a guy that's a threat of going deep. Perfectly placed fastball in the outer half. Maybe now you think about expanding out there, starting a slider and teasing the strike zone away and trying to get a swing through strike 3.
Into the air to right. That's a base hit. Zimmerman will advance 90 feet as the throw comes in from right field.
I'll tell you what, it's all Adam LaRoche needed was a turn of the calendar to the month of May. You know, ever since this month started on this road trip, he's been a different hitter, going deep into counts, not really rushing up there. The feet are slow, keeping his shoulders squared to where maybe in April he was a little bit too closed off. Made the adjustments in Atlanta, game slowing down, and the swing is nice.
Ray Searage coming out, pitching coach of the Pirates. Mazzaro warming up in the Pittsburgh pen.
And for the 3rd straight at bat, as you look at Vin Mazzaro get loose, Tyler Moore finds himself in a huge situation for his ball club. Came up with the bases loaded, nobody out in the 6th, struck out, came up in the 7th, the same situation, only with 2 outs, and struck out. And here the winning runs on second base. The stage set once again for Tyler Moore. Very rarely does a Major League Baseball game find you in big situations. 3 at-bats in a row like they have here. Tyler Moore late.
So Moore, who has walked, struck out twice, and grounded to short. With runners at first and second, 1 out. Pounded at the plate. We've had some big flies today. We've had odd plays in the field, most notably by Starling Marte, who switched hands with his glove trying to stop a triple by Zimmerman. That didn't work out. Zimmerman got a triple, later scored. We've had 2 home runs. We've had 5 hit batsmen.
And through all that, the score tied at 4.
looks at one outside, and the count is even at a ball and a strike with one away. Zimmerman off second, LaRoche off first, and Zimmerman's running a double steal. Excellent execution by the Nationals.
And one of the most underrated part of Ryan Zimmerman's game is his base running ability. He's a guy that'll take an extra base on a base hit. And he's also a guy that if you don't pay attention to him, will steal third base. Great jump by Zimmerman. Setting the stage once again for Tyler Moore and giving Adam LaRoche credit on the backside for reading Ryan Zimmerman and going with him to get to second.
Well, that brings the Pirate infield in. Advantage to the hitter, although it's 1-2 on Moore. It remains a ball and 2 strikes on Tyler Moore. It's amazing. The nerve. I mean, you got to give Davey Johnson credit for even trying such a stunt in this kind of a situation.
Well, I don't think that was a sign. I think Ryan Zimmerman did that on his own. Yeah, that's one of those situations where late in a tie ball game with 1 out, you have to get your best jump as a base runner, and the element of surprise is the biggest ally. And no one paid attention to Ryan Zimmerman. No middle infielder looking at him. Tony Watson got into a pattern, and he was able to steal the base easily. Russell Martin had no chance.
Great job. The execution was perfect. They've already had 2 sacrifice flies, the Nationals, today. And that would be huge here. Here's the 1-2. And it's lifted in the air down the right field line. Coming over is Snyder. He makes the catch. The play comes to the plate, and Zimmerman will slide in safely. So the gamble by Zimmerman and the Nationals pays dividends and gives them a 5-4 lead.
I just think that's a perfect example of how much the Nationals have missed Ryan Zimmerman. And you talk about a young player staying with it throughout the course of a tough game. Tyler Moore 0 for 3 coming into this at-bat with 2 strikeouts. Excuse me. Finds himself in a 2-strike count once again with the game on the line. Takes a little out of his swing. And how about Travis Snyder making that a lot closer at home than I thought it was going to be. Got around that ball nice. Showed off the arm from right field. But a big at-bat right there for Tyler Moore and the Nationals late in the game to put them up 5-4.
Well, Clint Hurdle is coming out to the mound, and maybe a double switch here. Will return in a moment. Brandon Inge comes in to play first base. And he'll hit in the pitcher's spot. And Vin Mazzaro, making his 8th appearance, he'll hit in Garrett Jones's spot, which is cleanup. But he made the last out, hit into a double play in the last inning.
Yeah, Mazzaro, 2-pitch guy, fastball, slider, fastball averaging 94 miles an hour. Batting average against this year, 406 against Vin Mazzaro, 13 for 32.
So Mazzaro's first pitch to Wilson Ramos. Ramos is hit into a double play, fly to right. Got a single to knock in 2 runs, single with the bases loaded, and ground that out to short his last time up. LaRoche off of second with 2 away. Hit the third. No problem for Alvarez as he throws him out. And that will take us to the bottom of the 9th for Pittsburgh. Main stories of the game. Strasburg pitched well in 7 innings, give up 5 hits and 4 earned runs, and struck out 8 with just 95 pitches. This is amazing. 5 hit batters in this game. The Nationals are the first NL team to have 3 sac flies in a game this season. So now they'll try to put it in the hands of Rafael Soriano. 3rd in the league in saves with 9. Has tossed 8 scoreless innings so far and 6 saves in his last 8 appearances.
Yeah, he's a 3-pitch guy. Fastball, slider, cutter. Now, fastball's not overwhelming at 90 miles an hour. He relies on control, command. He moves it around. The slider's his out pitch, but he loves the cutter at 89 miles an hour.
He has been effective every place he's been. He was an all-star with Tampa Bay. He's been with the Yankees, the Braves, and the Mariners. And at 33 years of age, he's still accomplishing some things. And Russell Martin will face him first. Martin has not had a good day. Grounded out, grounded into a double play, and was hit by a pitch. 1 of 5, as we mentioned. Soriano has fallen behind 2-0 to Russell Martin.
Oh, you got to be careful right here. Guy with 6 home runs. He's looking to jump all over a strike right here. Russell Martin's power the other way. Up the middle, the other way.
That's hit to left center for a base hit. See if Martin dares to try. He is going to try to stretch it into a double. Goes head first, and he is out.
What a play by Roger Bernardina. As an outfielder right here, you're playing no doubles. It's so you can cut down the gaps. Martin all over that 2-0 fastball, but the speed of Bernardina getting to this baseball with the spin move, the strong arm, right on the money, a one-hop seed to Danny Espinoza to cut down Russell Martin. What a play by Bernardina. Not a bad gamble by Russell Martin either. Tie ball game, he's trying to get something going, a leadoff double. Bernardina said, not on my watch.
Heck of a play by Bernardina. Yeah, you can question the gamble by Martin, but if he slides in safely, then you put your team in position to tie it up.
Good tag by Espinoza too right there, diving in there to make sure.
Pedro Alvarez for Pittsburgh, pitching tight. And keep this in mind. I'm not saying that Denard Span wouldn't have made that play, but he's not playing today. NASCAR tomorrow on Fox and Talladega. Be sure to check that out. Pitch outside, so Soriano having a problem with his location and got help there by Bernardina's great play.
Had zero problem with Russell Martin trying to make that a double.
Yeah.
That's the way he plays the ball game. It's a good gamble at this point in the baseball game.
And now he's behind 3-0, Soriano to Alvarez. That is in for a strike. Shorty Mercer has got a single in 3 trips, is on deck. So this is a critical sequence here for Soriano and the Nationals. That's hit in the air, right near home plate. Calling for it and making the grab is Zimmerman.
Well, let's go back to the 9th inning, our Burger King play of the game. Ryan Zimmerman taking advantage of nobody paying attention to him at second base. Sneaky fast right there, a good base runner. Gets to third to set the stage for Tyler Moore, a 2-strike count. Shortens up his swing, goes to right. Travis Snyder with a good throw to the plate. Not in time to get the hustling Ryan Zimmerman. That's your Burger King play of the day.
Where taste is king. Zimmerman's double steal, a heads-up play, a nervy play, a gutty play, and Martin tried to play aggressive as well, so I agree with you. I think you can't fault him for taking a chance.
Well, if you make it, it's great. Ryan Zimmerman gets thrown out there. Everybody's, what is he doing? And Russell Martin, I'll take a guy that tries to stretch a leadoff double down by 1 in the bottom of the 9th any day of the week, and that's the way that guy plays, and I'm sure Clint Hurdle has zero problems with it.
No. He shouldn't. He makes it, no discussion. Here's the 1-1. That's hit into right field. Angling over it towards the line, and it goes out of play. So Rafael Soriano, 1 strike away from his 10th save. And the Nationals 1 strike away from going over 500.
The rally hat on.
You believe in that stuff?
Sure.
Here's Soriano's delivery. And he struck him out. Ball game over. 10 saves for Soriano, and the Nationals prevail with some aggressive baseball. So for FP San Angelo, I'm Howard David saying so long from Pittsburgh. You've been watching Fox Sports, home of the 2013 All-Star Game. Now we take you back to Matt on the MLB Network studios.